How's it going, ladies and birds? It's up. I'm Sixkilla and welcome back to Danganronpa THH. Now we're partway into case 4, only 10 minutes or so, but we got Hero on the ropes already. Let's kick back into it.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Ah! He admits it!
I figured as much.
But why would you write something like that?
Oh yeah, he wrote the note that said Toko.
Because I killed her!
You're admitting to killing her?
Please, just let me explain what happened. I got Ogre's note, and so I headed to the rec room right before noon, just like it said.
He poisoned her.
You just did exactly as the note asked? What a fool.
He is an idiot.
And when I got there...
Sorry, but do you mind waiting? I asked a couple of other people to meet as well. Okay. Would you like a piece of candy? Might help give you some energy. Oh, sure, thanks.
And that's all she said. After that, we just stood around in awkward silence.
As you do.
Suddenly, I heard her mutter something.
This is it. I'm gonna end it today. I'm gonna end everything.
As soon as I heard that, I just knew. I knew she was gonna try and kill me. She was gonna kill me and make her escape. So of course I freaked out, and then...
Glass deer.
I saw my only chance. I grabbed the Monokuma bottle from the shelf and smashed it across her head. I hit her from behind before she had any idea what was happening. Then she just went limp. I didn't see her move again after that.
But that's not what killed her, is it? It's the poison.
Once it was over, I pulled myself together. I realized if I didn't do something, I'd be caught and executed. So I wrote Toko's name in blood across a magazine on the table and I ran away.
I can't believe you! You're the worst! I hope you die!
Well, that's what happened. Go ahead. Roast me, boil me, do whatever you want.
You're not gonna get off that easy. It's death. Death for the one that killed Sakura. We're ready to vote now, right? We know who did it.
No, I think there's more to Hiro's story.
Exactly.
What are you talking about? What else could there be?
There's one thing that Hiro's story just now doesn't explain, and until we figure that part out, we can't consider the case closed.
So what is it the hero did that doesn't make sense? What would he have had to do after writing the message? Why the magazine was hidden?
I got it! That's true. Everything you just said. It doesn't explain why the magazine was hidden, does it?
No. You'd want people to see it.
By the time the body was discovered, the magazine had been picked up and put on the shelf. Why would you take the time to write that message, then stick it somewhere we might not find it?
Oh, well,
Because he's dumb.
I didn't hide it. I'm sure I just left it sitting there on the table.
Really?
He's lying! He's gotta be lying!
I don't see any reason he would lie now, after already confessing to the crime.
Then, he's not lying?
Right.
Assuming he's telling the truth, someone else must have put the magazine back on the shelf. In other words,
The killer.
at least one other person was in the rec room both before and after the incident.
I don't think there's any question about that.
But then, who was it?
If they went to the trouble of hiding the magazine, they must not have liked what was written on it.
Toko.
I got it!
Obviously.
Had to be Toko, right? Who else would want to hide the magazine other than the person whose name was written on it?
Was he right, Toko? Did you really go to the rec room? Why would I have... Wait! But more important, that doesn't even matter. We already know who did it, right? Hiro just admitted it.
That's right. I killed her.
No, you didn't.
Who asked you?
I don't doubt Hiro attacked Sakura with the bottle. But that's not where this case ends.
What do you mean?
What he means is that Hiro isn't the killer.
She could take a glass to the head, no problem.
You can't be serious. That's just... I don't believe it.
Hiro, tell us what happened one more time. If we go through it once more, it should become clear he's not Sakura's killer.
So, what do you want me to do?
Just tell us what happened one more time when you attacked Sakura.
I don't really see why, but okay.
We haven't reached the end of this case just yet. Hiro isn't the real killer. And I have to prove that. Alright, here we go. Alright, what do we got? Kyoko's examination summary, status of Sakura's body, yellow powder.
I didn't want to, but I did it. I grabbed a Monokuma bottle from the shelf nearby, and I hit Ogre from behind before she could do anything.
Okay.
You hit her from behind. And you only hit her once. Is that right?
Yeah, just once.
She was hit twice. Ah, see, she was hit twice. She said it was...
Shoot!
Maybe I had the wrong one selected.
I didn't want to, but I did it.
Kyoko's examination summary. She's the one who said she was hit twice.
And I hit Ogre from behind before she could do anything.
You hit her from behind.
Whoops. That's right,
And
though, I'm
you
sure of
only
it.
hit her once. Is that right?
Yeah, just once.
No, that's wrong.
Can I get my health back? I'm really low.
If Sakura died from Hiro's single blow, that doesn't explain why she had 2 head wounds.
Huh? 2?
That's right. She had 2 separate wounds on her head.
And remember, this girl examines dead bodies as a hobby. Personally, I'm inclined to believe her.
But I only hit her once. How could she have 2 wounds?
Someone else hit her as well?
2 wounds means she was struck twice. What's more, both attacks must have come from a Monokuma bottle.
Hold on. How can you know that just from some cuts on her head? She was attacked twice with 2 Monokuma bottles?
It's not just because of her head wounds. It's also because of the Monokuma bottles themselves. There's something very suspicious about those bottles.
There's 2 missing.
Once you understand that point, you'll understand why 2 separate Monokuma bottles must have been used.
And that's why all the glass and stuff was heavier, because the killer tried to clean up the second bottle, but left some glass on the ground, making it heavier.
Think back. After the incident, there were 4 Monokuma bottles left on the shelf, right? And we found pieces of a bottle on the ground, along with the chess piece it had inside.
That was the bottle Hiro hit Sakura with, right?
For now, just note that there were 4 intact bottles and 1 broken bottle. But originally, there were 6 bottles in total, meaning 1 has gone missing.
But how can you know for sure there were
1 for
6
each kind of
bottles?
chess piece.
That's easy. If you look at what the bottles all had in common, it should become clear.
It should be a rook. Well, there's a rook, a pawn, a bishop, a king. It should be a queen and a knight, and the knight was on the ground. The correlation between the Monokuma bottles. I feel like it's starting to become clear. The connection must be... It's the object of the Monokuma figure inside each bottle is holding. Okay. Chess piece. Yes, please. P, please. No. I hit the
Now
wrong
I
one by
understand.
accident. My aim is bad. I'm sorry.
That's it! The chess pieces!
Now I'm out of health again.
Inside
That was
each
my
bottle,
chance.
there was a Monokuma figure holding a different chess piece.
King, rook, bishop, pawn. I definitely remember seeing each of those.
And the piece that was inside the broken bottle we found was
Knight.
the knight, if I remember.
So, what's that matter?
I guess you don't know too much about
The
chess.
queen
do
is
you?
missing?
In chess, there are 6 different pieces. The king, the queen, the rook, knight, bishop, and pawn. What was left intact at the crime scene were the king, rook, bishop, and pawn. Just those 4.
Oh, yep.
And on the ground was the knife.
Oh, so the queen is missing.
So we only have evidence for 5 bottles at the scene, while one apparently went missing.
Most of one.
What does chess have to do with anything?
Yeah, shogi is way better.
Yeah. Wait, no, that's not what I mean. So, let's say a bottle did go missing. There's still no evidence that has anything to do with this case. That bottle could have disappeared any time before the murder.
No. It's clear that the missing bottle is connected to this case.
How is it clear?
Think about what state the missing bottle must have been in. Maybe then you'll understand.
Wait, then the bottle that was missing was broken.
I got it! The bottle must have been broken.
What makes you so sure?
It was broken over her head?
Because there was evidence at the scene that supports it.
Huh?
That's right. We found evidence that shows there was more than just one broken bottle at the scene.
And what is this evidence?
It wasn't just a single broken bottle, and the evidence that proves that is... Kyoko and I figured it out before. It's the weight.
I got it! Earlier, Kyoko and I did a little experiment. We compared the weight of the broken bottle pieces at the scene to one of the unbroken bottles.
Oh, we're gonna get rid of Toko. This is gonna be good.
And what we found was that the collection of pieces was heavier. And the reason for that is... there was actually more than one bottle's worth of shattered glass.
So from this, we can surmise that 2 bottles were actually broken at the scene of the crime. But someone did their best to clean up the pieces of one of the bottles, along with the figure inside. But when they did, they must have left behind a few too many pieces, which is only natural. They certainly had no way to measure the exact right number of pieces to remove.
But why would they have to try and get rid of it like that anyway?
Because of what it would reveal about the case.
There can be no doubt that the second missing Monokuma bottle is involved in this case. It must have been used by Sakura's second attacker.
I got it!
Ooh, we're getting health back
that
again.
was removed from the scene was used the second time Sakura was attacked.
Man, she's having a bad day, man. She's
The
getting beaten
second
down.
wound on Sakura's head came from that second bottle. Given all the evidence, this is the only possible conclusion.
The killer wanted to make it look like there was only one attack, so they had to get rid of their evidence.
From there, we can conclude that it wasn't Hiro who delivered that second blow. Wouldn't you agree, Toko? And there's the matter of the magazine. You must have been in the rec room when the incident took place.
Wait! I admit, maybe there was a second attack, but there's no evidence I had anything to do with it.
No way! You killed her! I'm sure of it!
Oh, now you're confident of that.
Shut up! Until 2 seconds ago, you were claiming you killed her.
I'm not afraid to admit when I'm wrong. That's just the kind of guy I am.
Especially when it's convenient.
Plus, I just remembered something that proves it.
Okay, fine. Let's hear it.
It was right after I got Ogre's note. I was kind of nervous about it, so I went to the rec room early. You know, to stake it out or whatever. So I was waiting there, and that's when I saw her.
Toko.
I saw Toko go into the rec room.
You did?
Pretty soon, Ogre showed up, and she went into the rec room. I assumed Toko was still in there, so I figured everything would be okay. That's why I headed in. But when I got inside, Ogre was all alone. Toko had disappeared.
And you just now decided to share that with us?
Yeah, that is a bit sus.
After the shock of thinking I'd killed someone, I forgot all about it.
Could someone tighten the screws on his brain? I think they've come loose.
They don't get any tighter, sorry.
So, Toko, where the heck did you disappear to?
You don't know what you're talking about. I never went in the rec room.
Into the locker.
I'm sure she didn't disappear, but maybe she found somewhere to hide.
What? Hiding in the rec room? Don't be ridiculous. Why are you all ganging up on me? You're all nothing but vermin.
No, it's not ridiculous at all. I need proof that shows Toko was hiding in the rec room. And I have it. She left it there for anyone to find. A new element? Oh, okay, alright. So you've probably been pressing the left mouse button during the final strike without a second thought. But from now on, you're going to have to pay a little extra attention to your finishing blow. Now you have to choose the proper truth bullet to use during the coup de grace. You'll select it the same way as during the non-stop debate. Simply press the Q key, nor use the mouse wheel, okay? Also like the debate, if your logic difficulty is set to kind, it's not. But for educational purposes, we're going to pretend you're set to mean regardless. Just this once, okay? Oh, by the way, you're about halfway through the game now. Go you! Well then, good luck and have fun. Okay, break the fourth wall, don't you? I hate this.
It's a lie! I admit nothing. I hate you. I curse you. No, no, no! That's enough! I admit nothing. I curse you. I curse you. It's a lie! That's enough! It's a lie! That's enough!
I don't know. I don't know what to do.
I admit nothing. I hate you. I curse you.
What does it say?
That's enough!
Oh, like a
This
handprint.
should prove it.
Sorry, I panicked. Even though it was obvious.
Did you know someone left a handprint behind on the inside of the locker? They
Oh,
must
yeah.
have been hiding in there and put their hand on the wall without thinking. Does this handprint look familiar, Toko?
No, it doesn't.
Okay then, let's just compare it to your hand, shall we? That'll clear everything up.
Should
right?
do.
Stop wasting my time. Just tell us the
I'm
truth.
surprised she did it, because it would get Byakuya get killed.
Okay, it's my handprint.
Dang, she just straight up admitted it.
Then you killed Sakura! No, I swear, there's no way!
Out with it.
I probably did kill her.
Straight up again.
Wait, what do you mean probably?
The genocide Jill.
Give us the details, Toko. What happened between you and Sakura?
Talk. Now.
After I read Sakura's note, I decided to go there early, so I went into the rec room.
As you do.
I didn't know what she might do if I didn't go, but I was too scared to face her head on, so I figured I'd just sneak in first and hide in the locker.
Then, did you see what happened? Did you see me hit her?
Yes, and I saw you write my name. I saw you forge her dying message.
Well, that's awkward.
So after he left, I jumped out of the locker and put the magazine back on the shelf.
But when you did, you put it back upside down.
I didn't mean to. I was in a hurry.
Imbeciles, all of you.
Forget all that. Why did you attack Sakura?
After I put the magazine back, I heard a sound behind me like a monster growling. And when I turned around, there was Sakura, covered in blood and staring right at me. When I saw all that blood, I fainted. Right there in front of the magazines. I don't remember what happened after that. If you want to know more, you'll have to ask her.
You mean... Yeah, her.
Guess who's back?
It was your fault after all.
My fault, Master's fault. When our faults combine, they soar to even greater heights.
Just answer the question. Did you kill Sakura?
Well, to be honest, Miss Morose and me don't actually share our memories, so I can't really say what was going on. But I was just minding my own business, sleeping peacefully when someone shook me awake. Was it a prince paying me a visit? I wondered. So I opened my eyes to see... splatter everywhere! I was not prepared for that. And, well, I guess it took me by surprise. I got so startled, I smacked her with the first thing I could find, which I guess was a bottle. Sakura was just worried
But that's not
about
what killed
you,
her either,
and you-
is it? It's the
You're
poison.
terrible! No, she's terrible! Thanks to her, I murdered someone who wasn't an adorable boy for the first time ever!
And when it was all over, you collected the pieces of the bottle to get rid of the evidence, didn't you?
I wasn't about to die for so dumb woman! If I'm gonna go down, I want it to be for killing Master!
Just go away and die your meaningless death alone. Don't drag me into it.
I'm glad she's gonna kill you.
But I just can't catch a break, you know? Fate's got it out for me. Cause normally, Sakura should have been able to dodge my attack no problem.
Even as strong as she is, she must have still been reeling from Hiro's attack.
Hey, come on. That's... you know. But anyway, I'm not the one that killed Ogre. So that's good.
So that's good. Keep talking like that and Hina's gonna...
Well then, that's that. Let's start the vote.
I don't think it's that simple either. I thought for sure you'd have some words for Hiro on that one.
What's wrong? Come on, everyone, we're ready to vote, right? Let's
It
do
was
this.
you, wasn't it, Hina?
No, not quite yet.
Huh? Not yet? Why not yet?
Don't you think there was something odd about Toko's story? I mean, you had to have noticed.
Odd.
Hiro's attack, and then Toko's, but that still wasn't the end of it.
The poison.
Tell us your story one more time.
My god, Hina killed
Tell
her.
us what happened after
Really?
you fainted. Then even this gaggle of idiots should understand what I'm talking about.
Your wish is my command, darling.
It's not over yet, is it? The one who killed Sakura is... Alright, let's have a look. Kyoko's examination. Status of Sakura's body, yellow powder.
I was just sleeping peacefully, and all of a sudden, Sakura was right there in front of me. I remember waking up right in front of the magazine.
I've only got one heart again.
And you were taken by surprise when you saw Ogre covered in blood. So you smashed her head in with the Monokuma bottle?
You got it! I smashed her good!
And where did the attack take place?
Right where I woke up. I killed her there in front of the shelf.
Wait, what? In front of the shelf?
I was just sleeping peacefully,
She was in the
and all
chair.
of a sudden, Sakura was right there in front
Yeah,
of me.
well,
I remember
Hina poisoned her,
waking up
didn't
right in
she?
front of the
I don't know
magazine
why.
shelf.
And you were taken by surprise when you saw Ogre covered in blood. So you smashed her head in with the Monokuma bottle?
You got it! I smashed her good!
And where did the attack take place?
Right where I woke up. I killed her there in front of the shelf.
No, that's wrong.
Now can I get some hearts back?
We found Sakura sitting upright in a chair. If the blow by the shelf was the cause of death, there's no explanation why she was in that chair.
No one here could pick her up.
So, you finally noticed.
That's just another lie from a bloodthirsty serial killer.
Are you sure you didn't attack her while she was sitting in the chair?
No, I'm sure she's telling the truth. Anyone who saw the murder scene should think the same way.
Then that has to be it. The evidence that proves there was an attack in front of the magazine shelf. The blood on the floor, right?
I got it! Sakura was definitely attacked in front of the shelf. The blood stain by the magazines is proof of that.
You know
And
it.
she must have moved the body after she killed her, right? All to make it look like I did it. Because when I hit her, she was sitting in the chair.
Hey, come on now, look at me. I can't carry anything heavier than my own scissors. There's no way I could move a muscle-bound heavyweight like that.
It's true.
Then what's the deal?
Well, are you still convinced the case has come to an end?
But
Plus, the biggest mystery of all, the locked room, still has yet to be explained. Until we take care of that, we can't say this case has been properly settled.
I feel like after she was hit, she locked the door herself, but she was already poisoned, so she died there, sitting there in the chair.
Oh, that part's easy. After she killed Sakura, Toko just hid in the locker again.
So she just hid in there? Till everyone showed up and opened the door?
The locker was
And
open.
while everything was all confused and hectic, she just snuck out of the locker into the group.
No, I don't think that's possible.
The reason there's no way Toko was hiding in the locker is because
I got it!
we saw it.
Even before we opened the door to the rec room, Hina and I both got a look inside. And at that point, the locker was already open. So obviously Toko couldn't have been hiding in there.
Okay then, where was she hiding?
I don't
She
know.
wasn't.
What's this whole locked room thing about anyway?
How do you not know? You killed her!
I think the fact that I don't know proves I didn't kill her. Thank you very much. You're lying.
No, she's not. I've been saying all along, there's still more to this case.
But if Genocide Jill didn't do it, that means Ogre didn't die from the shot to the head.
Of course she didn't. She's a monster.
And
Well, I can't imagine what else could have killed her.
that's because you're overlooking vital information.
Would we really be missing something so important? If there's another possible explanation, maybe it's... Ah, here we go. Monokuma File 4, that's gotta have the cause of death in it. I don't remember what it said though. But the Monokuma files always have the cause of death.
What was it that killed Ogre? If it wasn't from Genocide Jill's attack, then what was it?
There's no other possible cause. What killed Sakura? I can't think of anything other than the shot to her.
No, that's wrong.
We're hanging on by 2 hearts.
According to the Monokuma file, Sakura had vomited blood. I think we can assume there's a chance this was related to her cause of death. In fact,
Yes.
there was even a trace of blood left around her mouth.
Well, I mean, maybe when she got hit with the bottles, she cut the inside of her mouth.
If that's all it was,
Really?
the file wouldn't have specified vomited blood. Not to mention, I didn't find any cuts inside her mouth.
You looked inside her mouth?
You even checked in there? God, you really are into dead bodies.
No,
She's as freaky
I'm not
as you.
into dead bodies. What I'm into is solving mysteries.
But if there wasn't a cut or anything, then what made her vomit blood?
Poison.
Some sort of reaction within her body. Most likely, Sakura was poisoned.
Poisoned?
That's right. This is the conclusion I've arrived at, and so there can be no mistake.
Oh, I'm so perfect. Fuck you.
You're making me go all weak in the knees.
Oh, you're gross.
She was poisoned? It isn't possible.
Is it really so hard to believe? Then let me explain exactly how the culprit was able to poison her.
You can explain it?
Of course, if you don't mind.
Everyone quiet! Shut up and listen to Master!
But you're the only one talking.
The key to unlocking this mystery was hiding in the chem lab up on the 4th floor.
Huh? Not in the rec room? Then I could have found it all along.
You never would have, since you gave up on the search the moment you were barred from the crime scene.
Well, yeah, good point.
And you're an idiot as well.
There's
Don't
a
forget
big
that.
shelving unit in the chem lab that houses a variety of mixtures and chemicals. And that's where I found this.
Is that the poison?
It's not an especially powerful poison, but it'll still kill you if you drink an entire bottle. But the specific properties don't matter. What does matter is where I found it.
Where'd you find it?
The shelf is divided up into 3 sections, A, B, and C. In Section A, dietary supplements. In B, reagents. And in C, a variety of lethal chemicals.
And that's where the poison came from? Section C?
Well, that's the question.
It was moved from Section C to Section A. The bottle of poison Byakuya just showed us. I'm sure I know where he got it. It's on the same shelf as all the supplements, I'm positive.
I got it! The poison was actually in Section A, wasn't it?
Huh? But you just said that Section A was for supplements or whatever.
Yes,
Strange,
genius.
isn't it? Why would there be a bottle of poison mixed in with all those nutritional additives?
Yeah, so? Why?
Because the culprit switched it out. That's why.
What do you mean?
I mean, this.
I couldn't believe my eyes. Byakuya put the bottle of poison to his lips and...
Master!
We were so shocked at what we were seeing, all we could do was sit there and watch. But, as if it were the most natural thing in the world, Byakuya was as calm as ever.
Ugh, that tastes awful.
Oh no! Master's in real trouble! You have to drink some water! You can't just swallow powder! It'll stick to your throat!
Idiot! He just swallowed poison! We need to make him spit it out!
No way, man. Let him die if he's gonna die.
Flavor certainly makes me want to spit it out. What's so high quality about this stuff?
Huh? What are you talking about?
It's protein powder, dum-dum.
I'm talking about the protein, of course.
Protein?
Can I see that bottle for a second?
Sure. Do whatever you like.
Kyoko took the bottle from Byakuya and scraped out a bit of the contents with one finger. She touched her finger to her tongue.
It's protein powder.
Huh? Correct. That wasn't poison in the bottle, but harmless protein powder. Which makes one wonder, the poison that should have been in that bottle, where did it go?
The bottle of poison was actually filled with protein powder, which would mean conversely the poison must have been in... Could it be? Tea. Piece of cake.
Now I understand.
Protein drink. It just got swapped.
Poison must have been poured into the protein can.
Did we get some health back from that one?
If the
I hope
protein's
so.
in the poison bottle, it seems only logical to assume the reverse is true, right?
Gotta put it somewhere.
Absolutely. The contents of each container were switched. So the protein was in the bottle of poison, and the poison was in the protein can. Once you accept that, it becomes obvious how the culprit was able to get Sakura to drink the poison.
Holy crap!
So she just poisoned it and then glassed twice.
All they had to do was hand her something there at the scene, and she was happy to drink the poison herself.
It's like bringing down a rhinoceros. Something at the scene.
I got it! You're saying they gave her a protein drink, right?
A protein drink which actually contained a deadly poison.
Yeah.
What?
That's all it took to kill Sakura. That is the true cause of death.
You know, I do remember Ogre saying that protein stuff was good for all kinds of aches and pains.
Yeah, man, she was fucking obsessed with it.
So maybe she took it to try and help with the whole bleeding head wound thing.
But what was offered to her instead was a bottle full of poison. And I already know exactly who swapped the mixtures.
For real? Who was it?
Evidence revealing who replaced the two materials was left in the chem lab for anyone to see.
The footprints. The evidence that shows who switched them, it has to be... It must be what we found in front of the shelf. The footprints in the dust.
I got it! The footprints left behind in front of the shelf. That's the evidence you're talking about, isn't it?
I visited the chem lab this morning, and there were definitely no footprints there at that point. They must have appeared around the time of the murder, which leaves no doubt that they're connected.
That's fair.
What's more, the footprints were in front of Section A, where I found the bottle meant for the poison. The culprit must have gone to Section A to swap the poison and protein, leaving their footprints behind. And given how clear the prints were, figuring out who they belong to will pose no problem. All we have to do is check everyone's footprints right now. Then we'll see who...
It was me.
I knew it.
The footprints. They're mine.
Hina?
If you're all gonna find out anyway, I'd rather you hear it straight from me, you know?
Then Ogre's killer was...
Yep. I did it. I killed Sakura.
Just as I suspected.
Me too, homie.
The footprints were made by a pair of sneakers. There was no mistaking it. And the only people here who wear sneakers are...
Sneakers, huh? The only people wearing sneakers here are me and her. That's why he asked us first.
Me and Hina are the only ones. Oh, so Byakuya. That explains why you...
These footprints must be... Makoto, are they yours? No. Okay, then let me see your shoes and I'll confirm their size for myself.
If the footprints didn't belong to Makoto, that left only one other possibility.
Just Hina.
Plus, Hina's been acting strange ever since the trial began. You were in an awful rush to
Yeah,
get to
she
the
was.
vote, weren't you? This whole time, you've been focused on pinning the crime on someone else, haven't you?
I can't believe it.
Neither, really.
What about it can't you believe?
Well, it's just... The two of them were so close.
That's likely exactly why it turned out this way. Because they were so close, Sakura didn't think twice about it when Hina handed her the concoction. Hina used that trust to kill her. She deceived the victim, and she tried to deceive all of us. I have to say, Hina, coming from you, this was a particularly nasty little scheme.
Hina,
Yes, I agree.
is it true? Did you really kill Sakura? And if you did, why? Why would you do that?
Alright, we're gonna have to wrap this episode up here. We're gonna have to cliffhanger you one more time. But we'll find out some backstory on Hina, probably, and find out why she did it, and also get to her execution. Till then, I hope you guys enjoyed it. She was my best friend. Apart from Sayaka, she's the only one we've maxed out. We're gonna have to find a new friend now, and it's not gonna be Byakuya or Toko. There's not many people left. Guess it's gonna be Hero. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next one.